morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you're listening in from. Today I'm very excited for this conversation because I have the privilege to have a conversation with the billionaire himself. I'm gonna ask where that name comes from. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there just like myself who wants to know why that name billionaire. Maybe he can sponsor some of us for our postgraduate education in the US. So my name is F1 Ponza. I'm going to be your host today, and today I'm here with Samuel Boateng Osei, aka the Billionaire. Um, a very passionate guy. I've followed him for a while now. Not done anything since, but I know and I can vet his credibility. I've seen him passionately advocating for good stuff. We were privileged to have him this year with AAA Foundation, where he spoke and taught us a lot on the use of AI for productivity. So aside all of that, he's also at a university in the US. He's a project management practitioner, a Scrum. He's got a lot of accreditation to his name. So today we're here to learn, get to know more about him, his journey from Ghana. I'm sure he had a lucrative job in Ghana, but he decided to leave it and pursue further education in the US. There has got to be a reason, and today we're here to listen, to learn. There are a lot of people out there that wants this opportunity, especially getting into the US for further education or international opportunities, especially in the US. I'm quite I'm quite biased with the UK, obviously because I know the system. So when you look on my page, most of the opportunities that I share is UK based. I do share other stuff, but I'm more UK inclined for obvious reason. So today we're going to learn more about the US opportunities, especially for someone that has been through it from Ghana, who's now there, and also being able to share first-hand information and as we learn from his journey as well. So if you're a professional, if you're a student, if you're anybody looking, or if you know anybody looking for opportunities in the US, today you have all the chance to ask questions, listen in. If there's anything that is daunting on you, you can ask the questions, and I will give the opportunity to our guests to answer it. We're on YouTube live, and then we're on LinkedIn as well. So invite those that you believe would benefit from this conversation today. And I call it a conversation because that's what it is. We do not have any pre planned questions. It's basically listening and learning from our guests and any questions that will come from um, our listeners. So wherever you're listening to us from, drop in the comment section. We like it or we love it when it's interactive. So put in your comments, put in what you're learning and so on and so forth. And then we would have a very nice conversation. So hello Samuel. Thank you very much once again. I know I came into your inbox and disturbed you for the second time this year. So thank you once again for making time to do this with me. I really do appreciate it. So without wasting much more time, if you can introduce yourself to us, who is the billionaire and why that name, and then we take it from there. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Am I audible enough? Great. So I like the way you introduced me and giving me pressure, the billionaire. But anyway, I'm here. So my name is Samuel Boateng Osei, um, and then they call me billionaire. I don't know why, but well, I'm sure I got a name from the very first time I read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. After reading that book, I was like, okay, so let me just think I'm a billionaire. So people call me, hey Sammy. I'm like, don't call me Sammy, call me billionaire. Because I'm thinking and growing rich. I just wanted to apply the principles. And funny enough, now people call me billionaire. And that's it. And so I'm very sure it's gonna happen very soon because that's already happened in my mindset. So yeah,
Amen.
definitely.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, so I'm studying project management, Master of Science degree in project management in Northeastern University in USA here. And what other thing do you need?
Anything that you want us to know about the billionaire?
Okay, so currently I'm doing my internship, and
Okay.
I have about 8 years experience already in project management. So I thought it wise that hey, let me just um, get a master's and then move ahead in the ladder. That is why I chose to come to US to study the project management. But I know definitely today you have so many questions. So
I
and
do.
yeah, unfortunately I can't see your faces, but I mean it's okay. I think they can drop in the chat. Can we
Yes.
access chat? Okay,
So
great. Yeah.
we've actually got we've got a few comments already. I see you, billionaire from Kingsley. Raphael is here. So if you can all introduce yourself, that would be great. Then we know you're here. But I can see the comments. Listening from Ghana. Thank you, Miss Efua, for hosting. From Akusia. So yeah, there are people dropping in the comment section,
Oh, okay.
which is great. So yeah, we've got people online already. We've got a few comments on YouTube as well. I'm trying
Okay.
to bring it up so that I don't use my phone for both and I don't get distracted as well. So yes, you mentioned that you've got 8 years experience. Why not just focus because you're doing well already? Why then go back to school, or why then leave your 8 years experience in Ghana and choose to go to school in a different country as well?
Okay, that's a very nice question. So, um, actually, I'm a chemical engineer. Most people don't know about that. I study chemical engineering, and fortunately, unfortunately, after I was done with school at KNUST 2015, I got a chance to do my national service in New Edubiase. It's in the is it Ashanti region? Yeah, very far away. And after my service, there was an opportunity for a project in Tamale. All right, it was the UK government in collaboration with the Ghana government, some kind of 3 months project. I'm like, okay, let me just give it a try. I did that project, and then I got another project where I was doing my national service, say, with Mastercard Foundation with Solidarity. So it was a 5 year project. They were done with 2 years already. So I'm like, hey, I'm interested. I applied and I got a project, and then I worked for 3 years till COVID came, 2020, boom. And then I was like, anyway, I came back home to Accra, and then I just forgot that I was a chemical engineer. I'm like, let me work as a chemical engineer and stop this kind of project. So I applied for chemical engineering role, and I worked with Chemsolve around airports, and I worked for a year. And I don't know, I keep hearing this thing, people get good jobs. That was the first time I had a job. They gave me a car, um, laptop, phone, everything was super good. But after doing the work for like a year, I was not having that kind of fulfillment. There was no impact. Like I don't know. I was not happy. I don't know where that was coming from. So I woke up one day and I'm like, I wanna resign the job. And then everyone was like, how can like you have a car? It was a very big car in Ghana, like you're done with school, you have a car, you have um, good money. What else do you want? But I wasn't happy. I go to work. I wasn't happy. So I'm like, hey, I think this is the sign. Let me just end up and then go back to the project, because in the project world, I was interacting with people. Here, I was a technical sales engineer. I was doing lab. We were selling chemicals to a lot of companies. I was just doing the lab test, but I realized that I need people. I want the impact. It makes me happy, and I think that's my core. Yeah. So I resigned, and I had to search for another job. And then that is when I took LinkedIn very serious. I came back to LinkedIn and I started posting every day, trying to get connections here and there. And in fact, if I that made me come back to LinkedIn, I wanted a job. that pushed me. I wanted a remote job in project management, so I had to come back, and then I just applied, and I got my first job on LinkedIn, and it was great with an Australian company. So I was in Ghana, 2021, but I was working with Australian company remote. They've not seen me before. That's the power of LinkedIn. Like you get kind of connections and stuff. And I was a Ghana field manager for AgUnity. We were working on some blockchain technology project with rice farmers in um, in the Seshri area, and then we went to the Volta region, trying to help them with their records keeping. So I did that for like 2.5 years, and then I was like, I wanna work in the project world now. I wanna drop chemical engineering. So right now I just wanna do masters, and then with the experience I've gotten from Mastercard Foundation, Solidaridad, and also AgUnity, I'm like, hey, let me just do my masters and then come and work back in the project world as a country director. Like I want that kind of position. I don't want to I'm done with the project coordinator and then the field officer role. So I just want to work as a country director for an NGO where the impact can be felt and I correlate with the impact. So that made me decide that let me do masters in the project management. And I search around. Um, I mean, I've been biased towards US. I don't like any other country. I don't know why. Yeah, maybe because I have siblings here. So yeah, maybe that's why. So I search, and the project management masters is actually a new course, so most schools don't offer that. So I was very happy I got to see Northeastern had the project management, and I'm like, okay, then I'll just apply. Applied, and I'm here. So that actually motivated me to um, put my job on the hold, and then come back to school, and then definitely I'm gonna go back into the project. So yeah.
Nice. Well, so those of you that think LinkedIn is a waste of time or is a scam, this is a lived experience. You know, I've met great people on LinkedIn. We've never met before, just like Samuel have said, but it feels like we know each other in real time. So it's all how you apply yourself. Also, there are great people and great opportunities on LinkedIn that you can make use of. So do not downplay it. Please do take it serious. And I've seen, I can vouch for Samuel because I see his profile and he puts on real stuff, things that he's living every day. Either is what he's learning, his experiences, what can help you, what he's done that has helped him, that can help you too. So if you need any advice, there are real people out there that are actually saying what their experiences are, whether good, bad, ugly. They are real lived experiences. We've got Chrissy York as well. We've got Edna. We've got the likes of Angela. All these people are very great people on here. We've got the doctors as well, Dr. Benedicta, and all of that. They're all on here sharing real stuff and actually improving lives. So don't downplay the power of LinkedIn and those that are willing to support your journey as well. They've all been through it. When it comes with how they got in, took it serious, and how they've seen that progress. It's all about consistency at the end of the day. Because Samuel posts every day. Actually, I know you post every day. So at the end of the day, it's how you get what you put in. Let me put it that way. It might look slow, and sometimes I know there are people that see your post, but they might not react to it, but they're taking things in. And some days you get random messages. I've had it before where this person I don't even know they see my post, and all of a sudden I look in my message and there's like, I've been following you for so and so, and this is what your post, this, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, but you've never reacted to my post, or I can't remember you reacting ever to my post. So do not think that just because you're not getting the viral moment mean nobody's watching. Do you, and apply yourself, and I know it's gonna pay off. So thank you very much, Samuel. You left your car and a very lucrative job and traveled. That that is that I don't know whether to say that as a gamble or, and I didn't know you. I thought you've always been into project management. So that's something new that I've learned. So again, you think I thought I knew everything about him because all he posts about is project management stuff.
Yeah.
I thought he's always been project manager. That's great to know that you've done engineering as well. Are you ever gonna go back into engineering?
No.
Really? A lot of people are looking to get into engineering and you don't want to. I guess you love project management that much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice. I have a little background of project management. I've not done the whole practitioner course and whatnot, but
Okay.
I do. My job role involves a few project management skills here and there. So I just did the Google one, specialization to get the certificates and the knowledge. So anybody who's looking to start project management, if you don't want to do or sit the exams, the Google one is actually quite good. It more or less teaches you most of the project management stuff. And it came handy during my MBA as well. So do you have a look at it? You can get some of the courses for free on Coursera. So have a look. Thank you all for joining. We have Ernest is saying LinkedIn is definitely a powerful platform. Yes, it is. Kinsley says listening from Ghana. Thank you. I'm into business development and interested in project management. Well, you got the billionaire here. He'll be the best person to talk to because he's not just living it; he's actually got the certificate to back it up. So yeah, speak with them. And project management, actually, you can use it anywhere. Every single organization uses project management. And I always say to people, you waking up every morning, going to work or planning stuff, that is project management. You might not see it that way, but you're managing your life. It's got some sort of skills that you need. So project management, you can apply it to any job role, and it adds to your knowledge as well. It's a very great course. Hope says it's a powerful tool. Yes, it is. LinkedIn is a powerful tool. So at least we all agree on something, which is great.
Yeah.
Right. So I know you've been biased towards the US because you've got family. What if you didn't have a family? Would you still have chosen the US?
Yes,
Why?
because yeah, good. Nice question. Yeah, because me leaving my job to come to US, the bonus I had was I had family here. That was I'm not really leaving Ghana in my career just to come and see family in US. And actually, here in US, I've met them like maybe like twice in like 2 years. Everybody's busy, like yeah. So whether I have someone or no, I'm gonna come. The dream was to get my masters and then move back into project management like full time. So yeah.
Okay. Um. Okay. So that means you've always wanted to go to the US. That is out of the way now. Now let's talk about your journey from Ghana to the US. Are you self-funding yourself through education? Um, how did you manage? How was the process finding the school, or have you always known this? How long did it take you? I think I'm asking quite a lot of questions in one, but all that I'm trying to gauge is walk us through, that journey, because everyone that or every guest that comes on this program has got a journey to share. So what is the billionaire's journey?
Okay, great. I think people are saying the chat that I hope it will be recorded. I think you're recording it on YouTube,
Yes,
right?
so it will be recorded on YouTube, or it is showing on YouTube now, so you can go for the replay. And if you've not subscribed to our YouTube, please do, because I'll share the link in, because it's got all the other guests and all the other conversations that we've had on changing the narrative. So yes, it is recorded.
Okay, great. So the question you asked, you want the story from like start to finish. In project management, we use start to finish. Yeah. Don't worry when I use some of my terms. So yeah, it starts from for me personally, I'm like I wanna go to school. Okay. And then what are the courses that I want to do? I want to do masters in project management or management science, anything related to that. So I search online like schools that do project management, and I realized that most schools they don't really do it. They do like management science, they do a sub of it, or a related course like that. And luckily enough, my sister is here in the States, so she went for a conference, and then through the conference she got to know I think a career enrollment career or whatever in Northeastern here. So she then through the meeting she got to know that Northeastern has project management course, masters in project management, and they are offering scholarship for international students. I was like, okay. Then because I've been searching around for a very long time, and I mean getting even full funding, it wasn't that easy. And some of the schools they don't have project management as a STEM. Okay. Um okay, let me explain the STEM. So the STEM is science, technology, engineering and maths. So if you come to US and you do STEM courses, after you are done with your masters, you have 3 years OPT. The OPT is optional training, practical training or something. Optional practical training, yeah. But if it's not a STEM, if it's not within the science, technology, engineering, maths, that means after you are done, you just have 1 year OPT. So after 1 year OPT, you either get a job or you go back to your country. All right. So I was looking for a school that has the project management as a STEM, so that at least I know that after school I can have like 3 years to work in the States to have more experience before, if I really want to go to back to my country or another country or any place I want to check, at least I have that 3 years experience in US. So I was very lucky because I got their information that Northeastern has scholarship, project management, and then I just sent them an email, and then they were like, "Yeah, they confirmed it," and I'm like, "Okay." So the first thing is once you get to know the school, send them an email, okay, and they are very prompt to answer. You can go online, you can see some of the email, maybe admissions, blah blah blah, at this school.com, at this school or whatever. Or sometimes when you go to the website, they have a dedicated email that you can actually send message to. So you craft something like, my name is Samuel, I have maybe degree in chemical engineering, I want to study masters in project management, could you tell me about their funding opportunities? Or we have LinkedIn now. Sometimes you can even go on LinkedIn and even search for even the doctors, the lecturers in the school, and you can send them an email. Hey, can you refer me for maybe assistantship? Or I'm interested in the project. That one you have to be genuine, actually. You go to the person's profile and then you be like, you go through the projects the lecturer or the doctor is doing, and then if it's within your interests, you can send an email to the lecturer that I'm interested in maybe this kind of project that you're working on and I have experience in that. Could you maybe refer me, or could you help me get like full funding or whatever, so that I'll be able to support you with the project? And lecturers are actually looking for people every time, they're looking for people to work with. So it's also an approach. So after sending an email, they confirmed and I started the process. And some schools will charge you for application fee. Some schools don't charge, and the charge ranges from $70 to like $150 per school. So luckily, Northeastern they don't take the application fee. So I just applied, and before you apply, you need your recommendation letter. Some schools will tell you three recommendations. Some are like two recommendations. So depend on the school. And some also specify that they want academic recommendations. Some also say that they want two academic and one work recommendation. So it's also specific by the school's criteria. So after the recommendations, you need to write statement of purpose (SOP). It is super much important. So the statement of purpose is telling them why you want to do the course, why you are actually being choosing that particular school, what is your postgraduate plan, and then a bit about yourself, your history, and all this kind of stuff. And now people are using AI a lot for SOP. It is super wrong. Okay, AI is good, but I mean when it comes to SOP, for example, like you don't have to do just cut and paste. You have to, I mean, refine it. You can use AI to give you ideas and stuff, but this is your story. It's unique. so you don't need any robots to come and help you with it. So, yeah, so just write it very well, and then you can tell about your plans, your experience, and whatever you want to do after school. And after that, you just apply. And yeah, I think transcripts. Yeah, so yeah, they also take transcripts, um, and your resume. And yeah, I think that's all. You just follow through the application process, and after that, I think I applied, 2023. Yeah, I've forgotten the actual month, but like around April or May or so. And then I got the admissions after some months ago, like about 3 or 4. I don't remember the exact month, but I got the admissions. And then in Northeastern, automatically they give, um I got $25,000 scholarship. Yeah, so it was 75%. I didn't get 100%. And the total fee was about 30 something thousand, 38 or 37, and then they gave me 25%, so I still had some monies to pay off. And the money that you used to pay off is not, you don't really have to bring the money just like that. Every semester, per the courses that you choose, then you pay a bit, so the scholarship takes big chunk of the money, and then you pay a bit. Yeah, so that's how I have been doing it. So I got a loan facility myself. I got Empower loan facility to help me with that part. But luckily, I got job on campus, and I mean, I've been working on campus, and I mean, making some small money, and then currently, I'm doing internship. I would call it co-op. It's like a 6 months internship. Then that one also gets you experience, and you also get money and stuff. So I think that has been the process. I don't know if I mentioned everything or I answered it correctly.
No, that's it. There's no wrong or right answers to that because it's your journey, it's your experience, and everybody's journey has been different.
Yeah.
I've had people that were lucky. I think this year, a few of the guests that I've been able to speak to, I think two or three people, it was their first time. They applied it and they got it. Whereas last year, the year before, and that I had people come on and they've applied. I know one guy that applied 15 times to for a
Wow.
fully funded. Yes,
Wow.
15 times,
Wow.
and he got it on the 15th application. So imagine if he had given up.
Wow.
I would, yeah. So, everybody's journey is different. Some are lucky, they get it the first time. But the thing is, there's one, there's one thing that is very profound. That is the SOP. Every single guest have mentioned, write it yourself. Don't use AI. Don't get somebody else to write it for you. Get somebody to proofread it, yes, but it's your story. Be proud of it and tell it. Tell it how you feel because you're trying to you're trying to use your story, your lived experience to convince someone that you're worth being invested in. So
Yeah.
if you really feel that and you're really holding on to that, writing about it or just taking a pen or typing it away shouldn't be a problem. And if it is, that means you're not worth
Yeah.
the scholarship. That's just my genuine opinion. But then again, I love the fact that every guest that has been on this platform has said the same thing because at the end of the day, then it defeats the purpose of the scholarship. I know there are people that pay others to write it for them, but at the end of the day, nobody can tell your story as best as you can. So don't be shy. Write it, get people to read it, and then, edit it or make it more professional or formal or pick out the grammatical errors and so on and so forth, but write it. So yeah, thank you very much. Um, I know US is I think well they do have the money. Let me put it that way. They do have the money. That I always say US is a continent. Is not a country. It's a continent by itself. Like because one city is bigger than other countries out there. So that that they have the money. I know they do. I'm not. It's not a debate. Um, but that's the thing though, because they have the money, everybody wants to go there. It's a land of opportunity, so everybody wants to go there. And I always say, by all means, please do apply for the US. However, there are other countries as well that could definitely give you those opportunities. Um, like Samuel said, he wasn't able to get a fully funded, but there are ways that you can fund, like say the 30% or the 20% that is left, depending on what you get. Um, but one thing that I'd advise also is, again, using Samuel's conversation throughout, he knew exactly what he wanted to do. Always know your why. He knew he wanted to get into project management, so he worked towards it even before he applied for the opportunity. And the opportunity came when he was already ready. He was not now preparing for the opportunity. He knew he wanted to do project management. He had done, um, the build up to now doing the masters. So if there's something you really want to do, don't wait for the opportunity to come before you get ready. Get ready for the to meet the opportunity. And also, when you're applying for these things or the scholarship, always know your why. You understand? Always know your why. I like the fact that someone said he came. Yes, he's got family, but he's only seen them twice in a year. 2 years that you've been there. I always tell people, coming to overseas and thinking you have a family, you'll be disappointed because I've grown with my brother in the UK, and I can tell you how many times we talk on the phone. Sometimes you can go months without calling each other, and it's not intentional. We know. I know he's around. He knows I'm around,
Yeah.
but it's always like putting it on hold. Oh, I will call this evening, and then something will come up. Sometimes too, by the time you call him, he's also busy, and so on and so forth. So you can live with somebody in the same house, and you're just passing each other. You're just missing each other. So abroad is not for the faint-hearted. I'm sure someone will tell you. You might think you have family or friends. You'll be chilling. You'll be seeing each other. It would do you like film. But anyway, so can you tell us a little bit about that Empower Learn? I've seen it, but I've not had anybody like talk about it. So since you've used the process, would you advise other people to consider it? Are there any criteria that you have to meet? I know you've used it, but would you sometimes the fact that you've done something doesn't mean you encourage other people to do it.
Yeah.
So would you? And then if there's any criteria they have to meet, I'll consider. And if they can consider something else, what could it be without taking the loan?
Okay, nice question. So the first recommendation I want to give is, if you are coming from Ghana to the States or maybe any other country, you need to fight for full funding if possible. That one, you don't have anything to worry about because you have the full funding. All right. Because anytime that you need to pay fees is a stress on its own. Okay. I've seen a question from Kingsley that can your campus job pay for their fees? The campus job can't pay for their fees. It's basically like money to pay for your rent and what you're gonna spend on, and maybe some other things that you do. You can use it to pay for your fees. That would mean that you are putting yourself on a tight timeline, like, and I don't think that would be good. Like, it's gonna be stressful. Yeah. So first of all, find full funding, but don't worry if you don't get full funding like myself. You can use loan facility like the Empower, but as at now, they are no longer giving African countries. That was just like last month ago. Yeah, last month. Yeah, they've held on giving some countries. Ghana is part. Yeah, that's the information that we got to know. I don't know. There's a lot of things happening and stuff. Yeah, but the Empower would have been a good opportunity. So you'll be in Ghana, and then they give you the loan facility. You come to the States, and you pay for only the interest whilst you are in school. And then once you're done with school and get a job, you start paying for the interest and then the principal. but the rate is kind of high. It's about 12% to like 16%, which is very high. But that is the initial stage or the entry stage. Once you are done with school, you can always refinance and get a better rate. All right, good. But the most important thing is that you didn't, you were in Ghana, you don't have that money to pay for your fees. You got a loan facility. You are in US, you've invested in yourself, you have your masters now. You can equally be able to pay back the loan facility. That one, I can assure you of that. Because if you are like, okay, I'm waiting to get money from Ghana, how much can you pay? $10,000, like $20,000. That's a lot of money. Unless you're coming from, I mean, a rich family. Yeah, like if Ifua's family, they are rich. So
Please, I'm not a billionaire. Not yet.
yeah, but as of now, I don't know of any other loan facility. It was Empower that was very flexible. The rest of them, they talk about getting um getting a co-signer. You need someone from America. You need someone to co-sign you and stuff. There are a lot of them. When you check online, you see a lot of loan facilities, but Empower was very friendly, and the application was like 10 minutes to 15 minutes. You are done. You get your loan. They can give you up to like $50,000, $100,000, any amount you want. Yeah, and then after you're done with school, you can refinance it. But until I mean, so just last month May, they are not giving some African countries, including Ghana. I don't know if they're gonna change it or not, but that's the current situation now. So yeah,
Wow, that's that's. I don't know why the African countries are getting scrapped from a lot of opportunities or lucrative opportunities. However, I always play the devil's advocate. So even with it's not just the UK. It's most of these applications or opportunities overseas. Some people use it and abuse the system. For all you know,
yeah, yeah,
people have used and abused the system. So
yeah,
now
yeah,
everybody else that really needs it and can benefit from it is now having to wait due to abuse. So whenever we say please don't abuse the system, it's not because we have everything sorted out, but you have to think generational. This decision that I'm making now, who is it going to affect down the line?
yeah,
Always think like that and then make the right choice. Because I don't know, I've not, now that you said it, I'm going to read about it. I'll actually
yeah,
try and read about it and try and find out why. But I can 100% guarantee that some people have abused it,
yeah,
especially if you didn't have to prove much and you can get up to 50,000 or $100,000. Some have gone and abused it. So if you're listening, please do better. Be every time you're thinking of something, and I always tell people, if it is settlement that you want, if it is really because you want to leave the country that you're in, and it's not because of educational purposes, then don't use the educational route. Use the right route so that you don't ruin it for other people that really want to use education or want to benefit from furthering their education. I get really passionate and frustrated about these things because now people have to suffer for no reason. But don't worry, Billionaire is here. Billionaire will sponsor you. So let's take a few comments. I think you've answered some, if not all, the questions. Okay, Kingsley says I got my job from LinkedIn with zero experience. That's the power of LinkedIn. It does give people opportunities. You just need to look and not give up. Um Hansen says, good evening, glad to be here. Unfortunately, my network is throwing me out because of the rain. Please, will there be a recording? So I've shared the link to our YouTube page on there. Please do check in the comments. I've posted it there so you can watch it later on YouTube with our other um guests that have been on. Eugene says, oh, so you're an honorable as well. It says Black Star Royalty, dropping gems. God bless you, Honorable. You have fun, so are you sure you're
Okay.
not the president?
Maybe in the future.
Amen. Amen. I say a big amen to that. Okay, so you've answered Kingsley's question about whether the fees, um, the work that you do will be able to pay for the fees. So I'll share a little experience with working and schooling. I've had to do it. I'm in full time work and I had to do my MBA. It is not what you want, right? I had to, so I was fortunate to get help from work towards my fees and a little bit of scholarship from Aston as well. But I still had to make some payment. Even though I was in a full time job, you will feel it. Especially when so they were able to cover I think about the last 6 months or the last 7 months plus my dissertation, I had to fund it myself. And you will feel it. I'm not going to lie. Some months, right? You're praying, like, for miracle money from anywhere. Because especially if you have like other responsibilities like
Yeah.
family overseas, or friends or any other thing that is coming from that same money. It's not you don't want to add that unnecessary stress on your head. So if you have opportunity to apply for a fully funded, it's not a rush. Take your time. Apply for most of the fully funded opportunities out there, or you can put say 70% from the first one and try and look for the 30 from another opportunity, because you are able to get two or three scholarships to add it. And it's not just about your fees as well. What you're going to eat,
Yeah.
your depending on your course as well. If there's any research that you need to do that comes with, you know, you funding it, you need to get the money from somewhere, especially if it's not coming from the school. Your clothing, your feeding, your accommodation, your travel. So think of all of these things. Your internet, because when you're in a different country, you have to get a SIM card, and you have to think of Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is not that cheap. Like I've been complaining quite a lot how Wi-Fi prices have shot up, but we all need internet now, so everybody is making money out of that. So you need to think of all of these things. There might be conferences that you want to go to. If you don't get the funding and it's going to really help you and you want to go, where's the funding going to come from? So you need to think of all of these things, right? And then make a the best decision for yourself. You don't want to add that money stress. So please do learn from these things and look for external scholarships plus internal scholarships, because most of the departments also provide scholarships as well. You have your fellowships as well. So fellowships also give you some grants towards it. So yeah, try and find out all of these before you go taking loans and having to work for it. So Stephen, thank you for joining. I know I you still need to allow me to have this conversation with you. I know you always, chip in your 2 cents in the event, but I need you to come and talk to us about the US. Hope says, "Oh, my network is really messing up." You can watch it on YouTube later on. So Stephen says, "I know everybody wants to go to the US, but I tell students to look for alternatives." Yes, one thing is that US doesn't care where you got your diploma if it falls. If you feel it is true. Um, the thing is, I know everybody wants to go to the US. It's the US is the US. There's no argument about that. However, if the course that you want to do, Australia has got the best universities. Why not go to Australia? Because at the end of the day, you're guaranteed a good teaching environment because they're the best for that course. They'll probably have better opportunities for you because they've invested in that course. Maybe it might be China. Why not look to go to schools in China that provides fully funded, and then after that you can use that. that opportunity that you've had to jackpot to the US is always going to be there. So why not? And the thing is, when you're getting visas, right? I, I'm not gonna say it's a guarantee. However, when you have other countries, well, it depends because of Mr. Trump. We'll say you've been to China. Why did you go to China? But anyway, depending on it, most countries would easily give you like visas either for 6 months or so if they've seen that you've traveled to other countries, especially for students. So sometimes you might not get into the US straight away, but having your education in one country because of the relevance in your passport, they might your chances of getting other visas is very high. And also at the end of the day, it's education that you want. As soon as you're able to get that, you can use that to apply for job openings in the other countries that you want. Um, Edna says the billionaire is talking. Yes, he's really giving us a lot of gems today. Steven says I did all my education in Europe, but US came calling immediately. I completed my PhD. I never applied in schools in the US. Exactly. So as soon as you're able to get that certificate, the opportunities for you to get other countries to open their doors to you is very high. So if it is really just education you want, look for which country has the best, departments relating to your course, and then focus that energy on there. And then later on, use that education or the certificate that you've got to your advantage and apply to your dream your dream country, because those countries are always going to be there, but you've already added value to yourself. So which is good. So thank you all very much. Kingsley says the billionaire fire. You are a president. I think we need to look into this. Thank you all for all the comments, the questions. Please do keep them coming, and then we will continue from there. So how was it with your visa application? Do you have to do any English test?
Okay, so if you're coming from Ghana, you don't need to do any English test. It's just automatic because our transcripts and everything is in English. So it's kind of easy, just like that. But with the visa application, that's another wahala.
Talk to us. Talk to us. So how was that?
So
How was that journey?
yeah, so you apply and then you apply for school, you get admissions, you are happy, and then all of a sudden you get sad. Hey, what about a visa? How do I get a visa? And then I mean, you start. So you buy your $185 MRV, yeah, and then you get opportunity to search for dates, and you have to search here. People consult other people to look for dates for them, or you can hunt dates. Um, sometimes I had to. At that time, there was no date available 2024, so I tried the emergency one. At that time, they were approving us, but I got to a time that they didn't approve again. I got a date which was far beyond my start date, and then I applied emergency application. I'm like, hey, I got admissions. I added my I-20, everything to it. That my start date is September 2024, and my date for interview was December 2025, 2024. Yeah, so this will prevent me from going to school, blah blah blah. Blah. And then they gave me the opportunity to choose a date, and then I chose 4th June. So every 4th June, I'm like, hey, that day. Yeah, so I was lucky I got my emergency approved. Yeah, some people get theirs bounced and they have to search for dates. And searching for dates, I know people wake up at dawn and then they'll be on the portal waiting for dates to come, because sometimes someone will just drop off and then there'll be a date and then you just pick it up fast. And I know some people are also agencies who are searching for dates for people, but I think it's kind of pretty simple if you're able to search it for it yourself. And also, you can try the emergency one, which I mean, now they don't really approve, but you can. There's no harm in trying. Yeah. So with I got my 4th June, and then I prepared for the day, and then this is when if you are you're Muslim, if you're a Christian, if you're a traditionalist, there's always a God factor, no doubt. Yeah, so um, you pray into it. I prayed into it. I was, even though you have your plans, your dreams, you wanna go and do masters, but sometimes someone's emotions can also delay your plans. You go and then the person feels like, today I'm not happy, I will not approve you, visa. you have you have no say. I remember the day I went, when people are talking, you can hear them. Okay. So one lady was at the other side. There was this Chinese woman there. So nine people left and right like that. The lady is so fluent. Like, yeah, I'm going to the States. I'm sure she has traveled before. And then she was just talking plenty, plenty. And the long and short, she got denied. And I was like, hey, then me, what am I going to say? Hey, because like all that she said and her answers and everything, she was going to do PhD, blah blah blah, but they still denying her. And then you get like shocked, you get nervous, you get more pressured. People go to the washroom like crazy. They just, I mean, it's just crazy like that. But I mean, in all things, we need to consider God, like commit our plans to God. That hey, Lord, I can't do it on my own. I mean, you do all your preparations, you prepare. There are four major questions that you need to know the answers. All right. The first one: why are you going to USA? You need to know because you want to do masters in project management. Gimpa is doing masters in project management. So why are you why are you coming to US? So your answer should be convincing enough for them. Other than that, they will deny you. So they deny you because they feel like one, you have another agenda. Two, you your postgraduate plans, you will not come back to Ghana. Like, so that's the main thing. You didn't convince the view that you come back to Ghana, or you don't have any other plan. All right. Mhm. If you are able to convince them that I'm gonna come back to Ghana alone, that means you have like 80% chance to get a visa. Yeah. So why USA? You need to have the answer. You need to, and it should be very genuine. All right. And then the second one will be why that particular school. There are billions of schools in US, so why not Eastern University? So here you need to read about the school. I was asked that question. I'm like, they have this co-op experience, experiential learning, very practical. You talk about it, and then hello, just say something. Don't worry. But you still need to, you still need to. I mean, genuinely, why are you choosing that school? Do you just want to go to US, or you really want to go and do your masters in that particular school? And they are psychologists. If it is very genuine, they can feel it in your voice, like this person is really saying the truth. And the third one, which is more important, sometimes they skip the first two and then they go straight to the third point. How are you finding education? That one there is like Apple, whether you like it or not, you get that question. Yeah. If they don't ask you the first two questions, they will ask why then how are you finding education? So on the I-20, they're gonna write maybe you have full funding on the I-20. You're gonna say it. If you don't have full funding, maybe you have a family support. It's gonna be on the I-20. If you have a loan facility, it's gonna be on the I-20. So you need to explain to them, all right, that this is how I'm gonna fund my education. So I remember mine. They asked me that question, and then I was like, based on my competitive application, I got a scholarship from the school, 75% scholarship from the school, and sometimes you need to boost a bit. I told them my application was competitive, so that they know that Charlie, I know this small boy. Yeah, so
We didn't
uh,
come here to play.
of course. So after that, and I told them about the loan facility that I got, and even the plan to repay the loan facility. So they should be aware. Okay, I'll be paying the interest on campus whilst I'm on campus, and so after I'm done with school, I'm gonna pay. Or maybe there's a family member. If you go with a bank statement, okay, so I have the father, mother, brother, uncle, but the uncle auntie story, also it has been too much. So now when you go, my uncle. All right, denied. They don't want to even hear it. Yeah, I mean, mostly they believe in like your father, your mother, your brother. And even if you say your brother, okay, why is your dad sponsoring you? They're gonna ask, has your brother married? How many kids does he have? If you say yes, he's married, he has 2 kids, they'll deny you because they're gonna put pressure on your family, on his family. So father, mother, and sibling, a sibling, we don't want cousin, my step cousin, long cousin. But I mean, some
My
people,
great great cousin.
but some people also go with uncle, cousin, and they get it. I'm not saying that um, people don't get it. I'm just trying to say what they really want. So we need to get our story straight. And then the last question, postgraduate plans. They are going to ask that question. So they can ask it directly, what are your postgraduate plans? Or they can twist it in a way. Anytime you go for the interview, okay, please, you are going to school, you come back to Ghana. Okay, I beg. When you come to school, you come back to Ghana. Definitely. And I feel like most Africans are proud of our country. I don't think we wanna stay here and retire here forever. Me, I don't want to. No. And the views they want to know. So when they ask about what's your postgraduate plans, so I'll be done with my 2 year school and then I have 3 year OPT. I'll come back and come and work, blah 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 blah. So with mine, for example, I told them they asked me that question, and then I told them that I'm currently the project manager for my Ag Unity, the Australian company I'm working with. So I'm going to learn from the best school. I was lying, don't worry. I'm going to learn from the best school, and then I love the experiential learning and then the co-op opportunity that I'm gonna get, so that I can have practical hands-on. Upon my return to so see you connect it. Upon my return to Ghana, I'm going to have been assured of immediate promotion to country director with significant salary adjustments. And then the view was like, okay, yeah, but that's actually the truth. I mean, I'm down. I'll be done with school by December. I do my OPT. Definitely, I'm gonna come back to Ghana and work as um, whether WHO, World Bank, Mastercard as a country director. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Amen.
I don't,
Amen.
I don't,
Amen.
I don't, I don't, I don't want to stay here. I gotta go back to Ghana. So yeah. So these 4 questions, we need to know the answers. Don't do chill and poor. It should be genuine. Don't go and rattle it. Let's have a conversation with the view, and then I think with that, that should be fine. So the visa thing, don't worry. I mean, just prepare and you pray to God. If it's your time, you're gonna go. If it's not your time, I mean, you can't do anything about it. But the danger is that don't use a fake document. No. Before I went for my interview, I went at 11:30. Those who went at 10:30 before mine, one guy used a fake I-20, and then they got to see it, and it spoils that mood of the view that day. So she was just denying. So sometimes someone's mistake can even come and cost you. And don't also go and do a mistake to go and cost someone. Yeah. And I mean, it's not worth it because they're gonna give you a total ban from entering USA. You don't know tomorrow you become Minister of Education or the president, and you can go to US because of a mistake you did. Like, I don't think it's worth it. So yeah,
If the fact that you're even having to fake it means you're not ready, you
yeah,
know. And
yeah.
I know people fake bank statements as well. If you don't have it, give yourself some time to build it to the standard where you need to be and reapply. These embassies are always going to be there. These countries are always going to be there. Just do the right thing. You understand? Um, as soon as you're thinking of forgery, that should let you know that don't it's not time. So don't do it. It's not worth that ban. It's not at all. So Kingsley, I hope your question has been answered. It says, can you take us through the visa process? We have heard stories about people also get bounced. My friend secured a full funding scholarship but got bounced with no explanation. So I have had a few of that before where people have got the fully funded and everything. It does not guarantee a visa. So they have a quota that they need to meet at a certain year or in a certain quarter, for students, families, residency, so on and so forth, for every country, especially with Africa. I mean, with Trump being in power, it's even gotten worse. But I always say to people, there's one Solomon. I'll give you, come and collect your funds. So at every level, there's a devil that you need to fight, and that is so true. There's one thing writing your SOP to secure admission. There's another getting that scholarship. Then if you have to write that English test too, that one too can be warfare by itself. And then the visa application. So you might have done everything right, and then the visa will become the issue. The thing is, if it's not just you in Ghana, it's not just you in Zimbabwe, it's not just you in Uganda, it's not just you in Nigeria. Everybody wants to troop into the US, right? And at the end of the day, they're looking for people that will bring money into the system and not take out of it. Fully funding, you're taking money out of it. Again, I'm using the current administration. They want to keep all the money in there. So your fully funded does not, they do not care. They've been given a certain number. Maybe they've met it that day. So they can't take anymore. So a lot of the time I tell people that in as much as you want to be, you feel like everything has worked out, until you find your foot in that country, keep praying and fasting. And even whilst you enter that country,
Once,
keep
once
praying
you
and fasting, because people have been deported. They saw Kenya, but they could not enter Kenya. So they go to the airport, and that was it. That was as far as they could get. It's, I mean, we're laughing about it, but it's not funny. Like when you hear people's stories, they're so close yet so far. Especially with the US now, it's crazy. I know the UK is also cutting down on um immigration and so on, with even with students as well. But at the end of the day, if God says it's your time. So pray about it. Keep your faith in God. Do what you need to do, but keep your faith in God, because other people are getting it. Why not you? You understand? So for the praying there, don't take it out. So again, there's always that God factor, and it's a very common um believe in all the guests that have come here. At the end of the day, your strength can take you so far, but you need to be sustained, and that's is only God that can sustain you. You need favor before God and before man. And as you're praying for those visa and everything, to pray for the environment that you're going into. Pray on the day. I know somebody was going to I'm sorry. I'm gonna apologize before I say that story. They said it to me in confidence. I'm so sorry. So, as they were going to the visa application with that stuff, it started raining.
before I take it easy.
It started raining, and the rain. By the time they got there, they thought they had been able to secure the document. Before they got there, the the printing and stuff were everywhere. So they said you have to go home and come back. The person came all the way from Kumasi. So God will help all of us. But you see these things, I always say to people, it's when they got their visa, they had every reason to thank God. You understand? So now we can laugh about it. When they told me, I really had to keep a straight face. I said, "Oh, don't worry. You go. Let's maybe it's not today. You have to try and motivate. But sometimes the motivating. But anyway, we thank God. We thank God that we can laugh about it right now. But yeah, with everything, when you get bounced, when you get all of these things, it's part of your testimony. So maybe it might not happen today, might not happen tomorrow, but it's the process. is enough experience for when you get to the country. So now you've walked us through all of this. Now you're in the country. How do you find it comparing the education system? I know America has got crazy accents, just like the UK. But I think people are, especially when it comes to Africans, there is as sort of succumb to the American accent than it is to some of the UK accents. So maybe you might not have had it difficult, but teaching and everything. So now you're in the US. How has it been?
Okay. Yeah, so the American accent is kind of simple. If I like the way you're talking, you stress on some of the words, like you use the you carry kind of, yeah. But Americans speak just like, well, because I've worked with international organizations for a long time, so it's just normal. It's just like you can hear them speak, so it's not a big deal. For me, the accent wasn't the problem. The problem I had was the cultural shock. So I came here to the States, and then I could see like two guys just walking around and then doing stuff. I'm like, then I watch again. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So you get kind of shocked when some of the things that is not wasn't happening in your country. You come and see them here, and you can't say anything. You can't. I mean, you just watch and you go or somewhere. Sometimes you're not even supposed to be watching too much because it's also a bad stuff. So, yeah, I had a cultural shock on several occasions, but now I'm okay because I am open-minded. And before you travel, you actually need to be open-minded, but you need to know your values for that one day. So you have your values, but you're open-minded, so that you'll be able to work with people who have different beliefs. Okay, I'm actually working with okay, yeah, recording this there. Okay, no problem.
Just say the alphabet. We
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. So I have a friend who was met someone who said he's a he's a gay, and then this friend is a Pentecostal, like, I mean, very spiritual and stuff. So it was like, because the person is a gay, he won't talk to him again. Like, according to him, I was like, ew. But the person was in a position to help him at that moment. But he said, no, 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 I don't want help from people like that. I mean, that is when we need to be open minded. The fact that this person is helping you doesn't mean that you become one, you become like him or her. You understand? So let's hold on to our values, but let's be open minded so that we can appreciate people with from diverse ways. All right. Good. Um, and then the other thing is the weather. Super cold. I mean, Maine is just like Canada is just I can throw a stone and get to Canada. That's why my birthday I just went to Canada right away. So it's super super cold. We have like summer winter all year round. It snows from November to May, like heap of snow, and it's so cold. And now we are in summer, but it's so cold. Summer is even still cold, yeah. So the weather had been a challenge a bit, but I mean I'm used to it now, and yeah, I think these are the things. But in class, I can hear the lecturer speak. I don't have an issue, and um, there are other African countries here. There are other people also here, so I mean connect with people and make that kind of connection. Yeah. So far so good. Yeah.
That's good because for the cultural shock, nobody prepares you for it. Even if you feel like you've watched a lot of Hollywood films to prepare you, it's different when you see it in real life.
Yeah.
Even if it's a man and woman, the way they're in each other's face, we don't do that back home. Holding hands is as far as people will go. But
Yeah.
yeah. So even though I've been here most of my adult life, I still it's still because that's not what I've been brought up, or when I go home, that's not the environment that I see. So the cultural shock, it it is like that. But yeah,
Is it
it's
like
all
that?
like
Is it
you
like
said,
that? Is
it's
it like
all of
that? I need to learn. I need to learn from you. Okay, that's good. I like the accent.
oh dear. So yeah, it's all about having that open mindedness, like you said, and it's a great advice. Because if not, you will actually get yourself in trouble. Because now, people, especially if you work with them, you can get fired. You could lose some of your what is it called, your privileges, because you're not diversity and inclusivity, so you're not being inclusive. You can keep it to yourself, but come to work, come to school, smile, and then you go back to your normal life, and then you just pray for them, you know. But at the end of the day, too, we're all sinful at the end of the day. So if you're judging them because you think it's a sin, maybe you're not being a true Christian. But if you're judging them based on your belief, but then you're you're treating them as human, then you're doing the right thing, because the Bible does not actually tell us to segregate. It just says we should be transformed, not to conform. So you're not accepting that habit or attitude or practice, but it doesn't mean you do not mingle with them. That's not for you to decide. But God will give us the grace to be able to maintain our steez in, and give us that knowledge and wisdom as well in times like that. But yeah, the cultural shock, I think in the UK, most of the time people, it's the accent, because Scotland, especially those in Glasgow. If you go to England, we've got those back in. I think London accent is the easiest to actually, you know, because it's the Queen's English. But even that, if you're speaking to a real person with a Cockney accent, it is a different conversation altogether. Liverpool, Birmingham, Newcastle. Actually, that's where I live, and yeah, those accents can throw you off. So even though we all say in England or in the UK that we speak English, we do not understand ourselves because of the accent. So I think America is actually quite sound, because
Yeah.
Africa, we adapt to that. I think we actually apply a lot of the American attitude back home than the UK. So yeah, that's great to know. So how are you finding your education now? And then just for us to wrap up, so let me read a few comments. Evelyn says this is so important. Thank you. So this is so impactful. Thank you. You're welcome, Evelyn. Belene has done justice to all the questions, and we've learned a lot from him. Kingsley says absolutely impactful. Yes, it has been. I've learned quite a lot as well. So if you've got any questions before we wrap up, please do put in the comment section, um, so that we get our guest to answer it before he goes. So yeah, once again, thank you very much, Samuel, for all the impactful um, conversation that we've had today or this evening. I think it's still afternoon or morning at your end.
Yeah.
It's evening at my end. So yeah, thank you very much. So how are you finding your education at the moment? How long have you? So I'm asking quite a lot of questions in one. How long have you got to go? What are your plans when you finish? And when are you returning to Ghana? And when are you buying the island? Since you're a billionaire, you don't have to answer the last question.
Okay, so it's a 2 year program. It's actually one and a half year, but if you do the co-op, the co-op is more like internship for 6 months. So if you do that, it becomes 2 years. And so I'm currently doing that internship, and I'll be done this month ending, and I'll go back to school in September, and then finish off by December. So in January, I'm working for 1 year PT, and then I'll renew for extra 2 years, so 3 years to I then trooping to Ghana and come back as much as I can, because I'm on status. Once you're on status, you don't have any problem. It's people who don't have like those kind of. If you're out of status, that is when you have an issue, all right. But once you're in status, you don't have any problem. And the school has been very great. I want to encourage all of us here that it's very we are very much good in Africa. Super good. When you travel, that is why we say travel and see. When you travel, you get to know that, oh, so all the things I even learned from Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, and everything, they were very relevant. You go for, let's say, presentation. Okay, we have a presentation in class, and then you are done with the presentation, and then the Americans and other people be like, wow, that was super good. You do PowerPoint presentation, and they're like, this is good, like very good. Sometimes where we are coming from, we think that um, those people are superior. It's a weak mentality.
We belittle ourselves, don't we?
And please, everyone here, I just want you to know. Currently, I'm working with the state of Maine. I'm working at a state office in Maine, and it's not easy to even get there. But I got there, and like I'm like the things that I was doing in Ghana, nothing has changed, and they are seeing me as a superstar. Like I'm like, this is simple. Like so, not just me, but I mean other people wherever we find ourselves, we realize that we are knowledgeable, we are good, and you might think that maybe you don't slur like them. Don't worry, speak your normal hard English like that. They will understand. Just try to be audible
They
enough.
actually do. Some of them they love our accent, by the way. So the accent is
Exactly,
is not a problem.
exactly. And some people
But
are
funny
doing.
enough, we always want to sound like them, though.
Some people are doing laugher like hi, my name is like the way Ufa is just trying out those kind of stuff. But anyway, so if I need to teach me so that when I come to
I
Ghana,
don't.
I'll,
I actually
I'll
don't
come to
have an
Ghana.
accent. I don't
You
have an
have,
accent. I don't.
yeah, you don't have
You.
an accent. You
I
don't have
think
an
you
accent.
you'll be like crazy. I don't. It's. I don't. I think I sound Ghanaian. I'm gonna
Hmm.
stick with that. Let's move on.
Okay, that's fine. But I mean, anytime I get back to Ghana, I just wanna use those kind of slash slang. But I mean, it's not important. Yeah, yeah. So let's believe in ourselves. There's nothing scary. I saw one of the comments from Steven. Steven said he did his master PhD in Europe, and then America. Like we are very intelligent. We are very good, especially hey, well, I don't know if other African countries are watching, but Ghana, we are very good. Our accent is great. They can hear us, and then we know tech. It will surprise you that AI is coming from the Western countries. Me, I have been teaching AI here. I teach AI. I teach AI to a lot of people, and I'm on workplace. I'm using AI, and then they're like, anyway, let me not share this example. But I mean, we are very good. You can study, you can do your PhD, you can do your master, you can do whatever you want. Once you are coming from Ghana and you have the mindset that you can do it, or any other African country, you'll be able to do it. Don't be scared, okay? Because we are knowledgeable, okay? If you don't hear anything, just take this thing from me that you are knowledgeable. Anything you wanna do, you can do. Thank you.
That is so true. We do belittle ourselves, and I think we sort of use humility as a cover up for not wanting to actually show how good we are. Um, it doesn't help us at all. And at the end of the day, we've been to school. We're there to show. So if you're always going to limit ourselves, then it adds to the narrative that we're nobodies, but we actually are when it comes to the way we are able to articulate ourselves and the knowledge that we have. So at the end of the day, yes, be humble, but not to the extent where you're not operating at your full capability. That's not humility. I don't want to use the other word, but it's not humility. You're just selling yourself short, and that's not what you want. We also want to occupy space, so occupy it, especially when you know you're capable. So yeah, that's a good one. So there's no new questions in there. So my last is it a question, but yeah, my last thing for you is, what would you tell? So actually, I had one question. You said you're doing internship. Is it compulsory to do internship, or as part of the program, or is this just unique to
If you are breaking,
hello?
yeah, I think it's back now.
Okay. So I was asking, you said you were doing internship. Is it
Yeah. Yeah.
compulsory to do the internship? Is it just for your course, or is it something that comes with every scholarship opportunity in the US?
Okay, so let me boast about my school now. I think when I posted your flyer, my enrollment counselor was like, "This is great, Samuel." And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." So let me talk about Northeastern. So Northeastern University, the whole world, we are ranked first in internship and co-op. It's not compulsory, but every Northeastern campus, we have about 16 campuses now, right? I think so. Yeah, across UK. Oh yeah, we are in UK too. Yeah, UK. Oh, and Edna asked that question. Edna was asking if we are in UK now. Yeah, we are in UK. We are in Canada and across America. So when you study here, the school has positioned itself to partner with companies, local companies around, and then every year they pick co-op or internship. The co-op is internship, all right? We call it co-op, it's internship. They pick internship students for internship for 6 months. Okay, some of them are okay 3 months, depending on the kind of job that it is. And Regina is asking if it's a paid internship. Yes, paid, good money, very good money. Trust me, the internship there is like
The
double,
billionaire is gonna be a trillionaire soon.
double blessing. You get good experience, you get network, and then you get good money. All right, the money is very good here. It's paid intention. So the school tries to partner with people to just pick the students. All right, so here at the Rural Institute, just yesterday we had a lot of companies, IDEX, other companies coming in, and the companies keep trooping in and out, and they give us opportunity for internship and then jobs. All right, about 70% of people who graduated here, they've gotten jobs in May. So like the company just around us, they're just picking us here. So, but it's not compulsory. Okay, it's not compulsory as part of the learning opportunity. But I mean, you try. But some people also don't get it. All right, it doesn't mean that once you get to the school, automatically you get co-op. No, some people don't get the chance. The school will try and help you with your resume and everything to apply. All right, but some people also don't get such opportunity. But if you get it, it's good. It gives you that kind of working experience in America. Maybe you have experience like 10 years, 20 years, but in Ghana or Nigeria or Senegal. But getting the experience in America, it makes searching for future job look very good because your resume will have like Ghana, and you have an American experience. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, so Northeastern is good with that. Thank you. I've said it.
Well, here you go. So if you're looking to apply to the universities in the US, look out for, there are actually certain universities that people don't pay attention to. Everybody wants to go for the Ivy League, but it might not be the great university for the
Yeah,
course that you want to study.
yeah,
So again, what do you want to study? Why do you want to study it? What are the universities out there that is actually great for the course? They've invested into it, and they are number one for a reason, or number two for a reason. Look for it and do it. It might not be an Ivy League as an Ivy League, but it's Ivy League in the course that you, or the program you want to study. So look out for those. It will help you, trust me, because the experience that you have and the opportunities that I even give you will be better than going for an Ivy League school. So just food for thought. You don't have to
Yeah.
listen, but it will help you. Right. So thank you very much. So that's Regina. You've already answered
Yeah.
that. So thank you. Benson says that is true. I get it was one of your submissions, and he's agreeing with it. So yeah, thank you all very much for staying with us for this long. So just to wrap up, Samuel, if you can give us your final words and encouragement or advice that you will give to our listeners that have stayed with us for over an hour now, actually. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Okay, so my final advice will be like, if you are in Ghana, more like a summary of all that I've said, and then you want to come to the States or anywhere for your school, just be um, genuine and know what exactly you want to do. So don't think about, I just want to travel to maybe America or Europe, but you really want to come to school because that makes a difference. And if you want to come to America, the best approach, the easiest approach is the school. Because if you come with invitation, B1, B2, they can even give you 100 years. When you come here and you stay 6 months, you need to go back. If you stay even 7 months, you are out of status. Your visa doesn't even work again. And my president, the one here, if he catches you, I mean, that's a big problem. So I always advise people that, I mean, coming to, especially America, I know of America, the best approach is through school. And then, because after you're done with school, you get opportunity to work. If it's a STEM program, you have 3 years to work. If it's not STEM, you still even have 1 year to work. And then that gives you the experience, which you can even go back to your country. And then you'll be able to, I mean, make the country better. Yeah. So, and then the whole process, God first. I mean, I can't take the one too hard. Like, you pray to God for direction, and God will also grant you the place that you want to go to. And it's not just America, USA. There are a lot of countries that have good schools, like Europe, Australia, wherever you find yourself, right? But you need to also know that after you're done with the school, what happens next. So I know of China. Yeah, once you are done with school, a friend of mine went to do masters there. The day you're writing your final paper, you have to come back to Ghana. And I know UK too is almost the same thing, right? When you are done, you
Oh,
have to.
you have 6 months.
So
You have 6 months, but you can extend. Well, there's different routes. So you have
uh,
so with your fully funded and everything, you can stay for 6 months to actually work. So it gives you the working opportunity. And
oh,
then
okay.
as you're nearing it, or you can use that 6 months, it's actually a year, but those last months do not count towards the year. But at the end of that year, you should be back home in your home country. So you've got opportunities to apply for a talent visa or extend the visa. Now
Okay.
there's a lot of, especially if you do all these entrepreneurship and technology stuff, you'll be able to get sponsorship from companies, and then that's where your 5, 10 year visa route comes in. But you do have
Oh,
6 months grace period to sort of put yourself together, unless your scholarship particularly states that you have to return home, especially those that are using the um, Chevening, Commonwealth, Mastercard, and that. There's always a
yes.
caveat to your scholarship, so you have to meet those caveats. But with most, if not all, you have that 6 months grace period.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah, I mentioned it because if you don't also consider that once you're done with school, maybe if you invested money, some people even sell their lands and travel. And then you're done with school, and they said, go back to your country. And you'll be like, what am I going to do? I mean, you need to know all those kind of stuff before you apply for a country. All right. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I think I'm done. Maybe I've said everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, you can't take it from the U.S. when it comes to the opportunities. It's a lot compared to other countries, but it doesn't mean that also the other countries don't have its own. Luxembourg, people are sleeping on Luxembourg. If I have to relocate, Luxembourg is on top of my list. I've been there. I enjoyed the freebies, but I think accommodation can be quite pricey. However, if you're able to, um, calculate and do the mathing, it's worth going. Luxembourg, Finland. A lot of people are sleeping on Finland. Um, Germany, you can actually study in Germany for free, so far as you can prove that your accommodation and your stipend or you're keeping up money, you can afford it. Then you can more or less study in Germany for free. So those of you with rich uncles like Mr. Billionaire here, you can get them to sponsor you to Germany to study for free or Luxembourg. Australia is quite good. Austria is also on the list of countries that people are sleeping on. Ireland, they got some great fully funded opportunities. Sweden, even though it's cold, it's one of the happiest places on earth. Um, there's quite a lot of it. You just need to look and expand your horizons. So thank you all for joining. If this is the first time that you're listening in, thank you very much and welcome to Changing the Narrative. We do this once a month. This year we've started again. If you check on my profile, I do share quite a lot of opportunities. It's not always about the UK. Some days or sometimes I go to share other opportunities like Germany, US, and so on, but I'm quite biased towards the UK because that is what I know. And but if you need any tailored advice or any tailored opportunities out there, I I can be of help so far as you apply yourself and you come to me with a specific question and not a general one, because that that might be ignored if it's something that you have to do yourself. But if it's a tailored question, I'm more than happy to give you a tailored answer. And I'm sure our guest here, Samuel, will be open to support you with your application or SOP. So far as, again, you're not wasting his time because he's a busy man and I'm sure he values his time as well. So please, we're all here to help, but just be ready to apply yourself as well, and I'm sure you'll be able to get the help that you need. There's a lot of videos on our YouTube page, so please do subscribe if you haven't done so. And yeah, get send a connection, follow whatever, and then we'll be able to connect and stay in touch. So thank you all very much for your time. Thank you very much, Samuel. It's not every day that you get to have a conversation with the billionaire of LinkedIn. He's a superstar. All these fans, he's a celebrity. So every day you speak to a celebrity. So I feel honored, So thank you very much.
You're
And
welcome.
take care of yourself. We wish you all the best in your studies. And we're waiting for your presidency. We'll be here waiting for you. So thank you. And tell Kwejo Trump to behave himself.
Hey,
Until then,
I beg you, I beg you. This one day, I beg you.
until then, yeah, until we meet again. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
All
Bye
right.
for now.
Bye.
Bye.